Leicester City continued to delay acting on their managerial situation following their relegation from the Premier League. The 2024-25 campaign was a dismal one for the Foxes, with Ruud van Nistelrooy failing to keep the club in the top flight following his appointment back in December. With the Dutchman's record proving to be so poor, there has been an expectation that Leicester will sack Van Nistelrooy ahead of next season. For now though, the 48-year-old is still in charge at the King Power Stadium, with no clarification having been issued over his future. Ruud van Nistelrooy's future is up in the air. Danny Rohl and Sean Dyche made to wait. This is turning into a difficult period for the Foxes off the pitch as well as on it, which could cause problems for next season. Leicester are facing a points deduction in the Championship following breaches of PSR, and that could be affecting their managerial situation as well. According to a report from the Eye, the club are holding off on sacking Van Nistelrooy for the time being at least, as paying off his contract could lead to them being punished even further for additional breaches. That is seemingly impacting their search for his successor, with Danny Rohl, who is currently in charge at Sheffield Wednesday, and ex-Burnley and Everton boss Sean Dyche said to be among the contenders. However, it is also stated that Leicester are yet to make contact with either manager about taking over at the King Power Stadium. Danny Rohl has impressed in tough circumstances at Sheffield Wednesday, credit Amigo Leicester City in a no-win situation. Whichever way it goes, this looks as though it is going to cause some considerable problems for the club, especially since it is hard to see how they can stick with Van Nistelrooy after last season. If they sack him now though, this seems to suggest it will lead to further punishments that will make the coming campaign even harder for the club. But if that don't, it is going to stall and reduce the amount of time they have to prepare for a potential promotion push next season. They have already missed out on one managerial candidate, with Leicester having been heavily linked with Russell Martin, only for him to have now joined Rangers. Others such as Dyche and Rohl could also be solid options for the Foxes, but could have their heads turned elsewhere too. In that sense then, the pressure is on Leicester to try and find a way to act quickly to make the managerial change they need, before missing any more big opportunities.